Hey, Just Britt. Hey, Jamal. Hey, Sarah. Hey, Dina. Hey, Lisa. Can you guys hear me now? Barely. Okay. Let's see. Give me just a second. I will fix the sound. I just have to. Okay, now it's better. Okay, the volume's good now. I have my filming setup today is kind of wonky because I got some vinyl in a couple of days ago, like last week, that I need to put away. So the chair I usually sit in has vinyl on it. The chair that I usually put the laptop on to watch the chat, I'm sitting on. It's super uncomfortable. And then I'm watching the chat on my phone. So I just need to get things in order. I probably should have done this before I went live, but I didn't think about it. So we're just going to do a little bit of housekeeping before we get into the actual crafts. Thank you for the compliments on my hair. Yes, I chopped it all off. So I let the hairdresser do whatever she wanted, and this is what she wanted to cut. This is the cut she thought would be best. I've had my hair cut like this before. The only thing that I'm not sure of is as it grows out is she put in layers in the back, like back here. She put in some layers, and usually because my hair is so fine, it doesn't grow out well. But we'll see. So I also don't I don't mind having short hair. I prefer to have short hair actually, but I don't like when it's to this kind of length. I almost prefer it to be shorter or longer because I pretty much have to either blow dry it or like flat iron my ends. Otherwise, my hair, this kind of hairstyle, you really can't have your ends curling every which way. So for the first time in years, I actually bought like a hair product from, I think I got it from Target. No, I got it from Walmart. We went to Walmart. So I got this kind of paper. This is sticker paper. I've done, I know there's a glare, but this is my logo for the business. I finally came up with a good logo. I know you guys can't really see it very well. What I've done is like this little thing here is a whiskey bottle, and then inside the pattern is Paisley's, kind of representing the dogs. And then obviously the company name. This was just my print off to see how they were. Hey, Paisley. So I got more sticker paper for that. I also got some other printable vinyl here. So, and I have a whole chair full of vinyl that I need to put away. I've come to the problem that I don't have enough room in these drawers for my vinyl. So I'm going to have to rearrange and probably put my cups underneath my desk or something like that and put the vinyl here. I'm not going to do that on camera. I'm just going to probably move the vinyl onto the floor. That way I can sit comfortably and we can go ahead and get on into today's stuff. Hey, Just Britt. Hey, Rain. Hey, Tina's. Yeah, I did chop my hair off. I had been saying for a little while I was going to cut my hair, and what I had wanted to do was go to a salon and tell them to do whatever they wanted. And then some things happened that some of you guys know about, but not everybody. I'm going to talk about it probably tonight in the open discussion. But I don't want to go to like a hair salon and spend the money. So my husband has a membership to this new salon place here. They primarily do men's hair, but because they're brand new in our area, they we're doing a promotion where you get your first haircut for free. And when my husband went to get his haircut, because he has to get his cut like every 2 weeks, I asked if they cut women's hair, and they said that they do, and they charge like a $15 fee for long hair. So when my husband made his appointment for the following day, I went ahead and made an appointment too. So I paid $15 for this haircut plus tip. So I think my husband's the one who paid. So I'm pretty sure this haircut was like $25 or something like that. But yeah, I just told her the same I said, you can kind of do whatever you want. I just don't want to be bald. Like, you can shave, cut super short. I prefer to not like have, unless you're going to do like a full pixie, I don't want like my scalp showing. So this is what she thought would look best. And I've had my hair cut like this, so I like it. You used to go to barber college where you lived before they were closed. They were awesome. Yeah, I can't say that. I can't. I was going to probably end up giving part of my location away. I think most places have a barber school close to them, and there's a pretty famous one near us, but they're booked out. And with COVID, everything's more strict. So, yeah. All right. Also, a fun thing that I got, and I'll be doing some of these. I have a couple of errands I have to do today for us. So I'm probably going to do this short live stream, and I might come back later because I do want to do some. You guys can't really see what these are from far away. These are molds. These are keychain molds for zodiac signs, for each of the zodiac signs. Here's some round ones. I know it's hard for you guys to see, but I want to get some of these up. Like, I want to go ahead and do a few. That way I can post them. Here's just some like paperweights or decorative ones. Yeah. Here's some that are oval. These could also be keychains. They've got a little spot for the jump rings. So I want to do a set of these. There's like 4 different kinds here. I want to do a set of these to have these ready in the shop. I'm probably going to post the cups that I have that have been sitting here. Like this cup that we did. I need to do the final layer of epoxy, and I'm probably just going to post this cup. In this cup, it just needs to be sanded and then one final layer. And if the layers on these will be super thin. That way, in case somebody wants to customize it and put something on it, they can. So, I just realized the computer is way over there, and I'm going to need it to hook the Cricut up to it to print off these decals. So what I'll probably do, because I didn't set myself up for that very well right now, I'm probably just going to do some epoxy. I have to finish epoxying this cup, Brit's cup. I have to get this one, the final layer of epoxy. This stuff is dry. So I just need to epoxy it. And I need to do a final layer of epoxy on these 2 cups. That's why they're sitting in front of me. Hey, Cheryl. Thank you. I appreciate the compliments on the hair. I think that's what's going to be best for right now, because I run the risk of disconnecting and everything if I move the laptop and everything that's connected to it. I'm trying to think if that's what's best. Clearly, I should think these out more thoroughly next time. those right there for now. They're little Tacoma letters. My husband got, whenever one of us starts like doing something seriously, we tend to encroach on each other. Like he's kind of been meandering and trying to help and like be creative in his own space. It's been kind of fun. What are you doing, little girl? Paisley's in here. You guys just can't see her because she's back behind me. Huh? You didn't come say hi? No? She's looking at me like, what? She knows she's not supposed to be in here, but she's being a good girl, so we'll let her stay. I think I'm just going to epoxy these 2 cups, and if we have time, I will epoxy Britt's cup. I need to probably, I was thinking I probably should seal the silver leaf stuff in Mod Podge before I try to epoxy it. Because if I try to epoxy it with it being loose, like you guys can see it, it's loose. If I try to epoxy this, it's likely to get all over the cup, and I kind of want it to stay on the seam. So I am probably going to Mod Podge this and then epoxy these other 2 cups, and we'll see what time it is and where we're at. I rearranged some of this stuff over here, so it's, you know, having to find everything where I placed it. Oh yeah, Britt, I did not send you a picture. I did chop my hair off. It's all gone, which is good. I needed it. I needed a change. It's nice to just start everything fresh. Where did I put those? Here it is. I hate this chair. It doesn't scoot at all. It's super uncomfortable. But since I'm filming on my actual camera, I really can't move it without potentially unplugging it. But my whole chair that I usually sit on that's actually comfortable has like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different rolls like this of vinyl, where there's vinyl. There's like 3 different 5-yard sections of vinyl in each one. And I'm afraid if I move them from this chair, I will misplace them, or they will end up unraveling. And I don't want to take this paper off and set them where they're going to be until I can tape the sections off, because I took this one out of the paper, which this is a really pretty pink, but I took this one out of the paper and now it's been unraveling. So I need to move the cup so I can place all the vinyl somewhere else. Hey, EA. Yeah, I agree. Short hair is a lot easier. Short hair looks better with my hair. Maybe not so much my face shape right now, but due to my hair being thin and pretty fine, my hair is more fine than it is thin. It looks a lot more healthy when it's short. And I've always kind of preferred to have shorter hair. The length my hair was at was the longest my hair has ever been. And probably say 2 or 3 years before that, it was close to that length, but not that long. That was the longest I've ever had my hair, because it just gets scraggly and I end up just leaving it up all the time. And at the length it is at, I actually can still have like a tiny baby ponytail. So if I don't want this in my face, I can get it off of my face. But I don't mind this length of hair. I thought about doing bangs because I've had side swiped bangs before and they do look good on my face shape. But I just know that I end up pinning them back. They never, unless I'm going somewhere and trying to be like more put together, they never end up like down and look cute. I always have them pinned back. So this is actually an injury from my haircut. The hairdresser stabbed me on accident. So that's been nice. The brush I got is too big. I need to find one of the smaller ones so it'll fit down in the Mod Podge bucket. Does the epoxy have a strong scent? It does. To me, I mean, it depends on who you are on if it bothers you or not. It really doesn't bother me. It doesn't smell any more strong to me than gasoline. It does not smell like gasoline. It has its own scent, but it doesn't bother me. You are supposed to wear PPE, personal protective equipment, when you work with epoxy. When I do my live streams, clearly I do not do that. And that's why I always say, do as I say, not as I do. I do have gloves, and I typically will wear my gloves. I do have a mask. It's not a respirator, which is what is recommended. Because epoxy you can have side effects from being around epoxy for too long. I mean, that's just the reality of it. I'm just honestly kind of a rule breaker when it comes to stuff like that. I'm not around it. And this is really me just providing excuses at this point. I should get the equipment I need to, and I probably will the more I'm around it, but I don't epoxy that often. I'm sure I will be here soon because I have cups that I have designed and that I have seen others that I want to like recreate. So in order to have my shop up and running, I need to have some product for people to reference to see my work. So I probably should invest in it. I just haven't. This is probably going to take, I'm putting a pretty thick layer on, so it's probably going to take 2 hours for this Mod Podge to dry these silver leaves down. But once this step is done, I'll be able to do the final layer of epoxy on this cup. And then once Britt has her P.O. box, I'll be able to mail this to her. No, it doesn't give me a headache. On this cup, Frank, I didn't add glitter to this cup. I added silver leaf flakes to this cup. I don't know if my camera is going to focus in on this or not. Don't know how to make it focus. But they're just silver flakes. These, they're on the seams. Oops, I dropped it. It's just on the seam. I was going to put vinyl, but I didn't want to do black because black doesn't always look the best against brown. And then I was going to do white, but white would get washed out by this iridescent silver glitter. So I kind of just figured I would do this silver leaf. And a step that I won't do on camera with probably any of these cups because I do it at the sink is a wet sand. So right before you do your final layer of epoxy, you go in with like wet water in a wet piece of sandpaper, and it just really makes sure that the surface is totally smooth. If you have any bumps, it'll buff out those bumps and it'll just make it nice and soft. You also do that on the rim. That way, any part when you cut off from the X-Acto knife didn't come off all the way or is still a little bit rigid, it gets that off. So Yeah, Axel is, well, and that's not a picture of Axel, it's just of a lab. I had a couple of different ideas with this cup before I made it, and what I was going to do was make the full cup like this and not do a split cup and then actually print off a picture of Axel. But I wasn't sure how that would turn out, so I went ahead and did it this way. But I do have paper to print off and like water slide it on. I have a few ideas on how to demo that stuff in the shop. Like I said, there will be several live streams coming up probably this week of me getting everything up and running, because as of next week, I want to only be doing my streams from my other channel. Sorry, my husband called me, which is weird. So I'm just making sure everything's okay. All right, now I'm gonna grab my individual turner to put one of these cups on. These cups have already been wet sanded. These two, this one and the pink one. So they're ready for their final layer. So I'm probably gonna do a relatively thinner layer. That way it can, if somebody does want it and they want to personalize it, they can. Which even doing a thick layer doesn't do anything but make the cup a little bit thicker. Okay, Dana, drive safe. Am I going to do an Etsy store? I'm not going to do an Etsy store yet. I've decided the primary way I'm going to do my sales initially is just going to be through my social medias, through whether it's the channel, I'll direct you guys to the Twitter or the Instagram, and the only way to pay is going to be like through PayPal for right now. I am in the process of getting an Etsy shop built. I have the shell of it and everything. The only reason I don't want to just push an Etsy store is because during my research, I have found out that they take a ton of fees. So I don't want to put my hard work and effort into something and be charging you guys, and you guys thinking that the money is coming to me and really it's going to Etsy. So I'm probably not going to do the Etsy store until I have a really good solid ground underneath me. I also don't want to get like totally flooded. And I know that that's a potential, and if it happens, it happens, but I want to like get in the swing of everything first, if that makes sense. So an Etsy store will be coming eventually, but not right now. I'm just going to start off slow. I have all the social medias created. I just want to start pushing those and promoting those through my Manda Pants social media. So people who are interested or want to see how the business goes, you guys can follow those social medias, and I'll just keep you guys updated on the live streams from there. I can't believe you're still on a wait list. That's crazy. Hey, Bob and Carrie. Ironing fabric for your new baby quilt for your grandson due in June. Oh, well, congratulations. Hey, Beauty Demon. Good to see you. Yeah, I looked into doing my own website and I got overwhelmed. This is coming from somebody who can't even figure out OBS. I downloaded OBS to stream from there rather than StreamYards. I tried for like a few hours and then I had to do other stuff, so I gave up and I haven't returned to it. I probably will because I hear OBS is better. I just need to take the time to figure it out. But this last week, more of my focus was getting my brandings figured out because I had envisioned what my logo is. I had envisioned it. And it took me a while between Procreate and Cricut to be able, like Cricut Design Space, to be able to figure out how to put it together. I'm not the best when it comes to technology. Like if I see something, I can, like if somebody shows me something once, like with work or something like that, if you show me something, I will ask questions when I'm being shown. And then from there, I typically don't have any issues. So when it comes to learning stuff online, I don't really have somebody to look to help, so to speak. And I don't mean that in a bad way. Like I can YouTube it and like take the time, but I've got my hands in so many pots right now that I haven't just sat down and focused on one thing. Every day I'm editing a little bit, I'm filming a little bit, I'm doing my business stuff a lot of bit. I'm helping my husband. So it's been an interesting adjustment and I need to work on it. Hey, Carrie. Hey, Ampatone. Yeah, I've heard the same thing. Having your own website is better. I don't even know where to start with that. I opened up GoDaddy.com because I heard that that's a good like beginner way to do it, but I don't know enough about graphic design and web designing. I don't know anything about it. So I started the shell of an Etsy and it's there. I'm just not sharing it because there's no product. Like literally my product is one cup and the images are of the box. Are of these hog boxes because I started to do it and I didn't know which cup to advertise because all of my stuff is going to be customizable. So I don't want people, and I'll have a few things in time that people prefer that I will offer, like that will always be in stock. But I need to get up and running before I focus too much on like having consistent product of the same thing, if that makes sense. I like the idea of people being able to fully customize the cup to what they want. You swear by Squarespace. I saw somebody else comment Squarespace and I haven't looked into it. Maybe I'll look into that one because I do want to have like a website where people can go and where it's like not just like through my social media stuff, like through Instagram. And I do have a Facebook. I got approved for the Facebook commerce stuff. So I have a shop on Facebook. I just want to make sure like there is no commingling between my private account and that. So there's that. Once you have the branding, it's easy to plug in. I'm just not the best when it comes to stuff like that. I'm also extremely indecisive. Don't know if you guys can pick up that characteristic of me or not, but I am so indecisive. So I don't know if in time I will be probably changing my logo and stuff like that. Hey, Michelle. Hey, Wind Wipers. I am just going to be epoxying a cup or two. I already Mod Podged over the center, and I don't know. I have some errands I have to run here in a little bit depending on what time it is, because we have open discussion tonight, depending on what time it is, I may come back and do the next parts for my family's cups for their birthdays. I just need to print off the vinyl and put it on and do the second layer of wood grain. I just have my laptop way too far away to be able to print those off right now. So I didn't think that through very well. Where did I put my gloves at? There's my new box of gloves. I don't want to open those yet. Might have to. I found them. Hey, Nana Kimber, how are you? You have the indecisive thing going on. Yeah, I am so indecisive, and my husband is too. So those memes and stuff that you see of like couples arguing about what's for dinner and being like, I don't care. That's seriously how our conversations, if we're like trying to do something different for dinner, or if I haven't planned dinner, that's how our conversations go. Interesting, Bob and Carrie. I'll have to look into it. But I am going to, as of next week, I will start taking orders. When I'm doing my live streams from that channel, I'll start taking orders. So if anybody has anything that if you have an idea and you just want to know the pricing, or if I have the materials, feel free to reach out to me. You can DM me. You can email me. You can do it on these on like my Manda Pants platform. That's fine. So I am just going to be doing a thin layer of epoxy on this cup here. I'm not gonna have the cup turning because this is a really thin layer. So I want to be able to spread it as far as I can so the cup doesn't end up too thick. Especially if somebody does want this cup and they want to personalize it. That way I can slap on a decal smoothly and just seal it really easily. You guys like my haircut? Yeah, I appreciate all the compliments on my haircut. It's been nice. It feels a lot healthier. I think most anyone who goes from having like a longer haircut, when they take any amount of length off, they feel better. And their hair feels better and healthier. So it's been nice. This is one of those haircuts that's pretty easy. For me anyways, it's easy for me to style because all I'm going to do is either flat iron or dry it, depending on what state my hair is in at the moment, just to make sure that the ends are not all over the place. And then leave it. And if I want to, I can put it up. It's a teeny tiny ponytail, but I can pull it out of my face if I want to. I've also noticed that having it like this has helped like my scalp and my head because I was wearing my hair up so much that like the back of my head where my ponytail would typically sit was like I don't know. I don't know how to say it was hurting, like not like painful, but it like when I would finally take my hair down, it would like ache almost, like throb a little bit, and I wouldn't wear my hair very tight. So I think it was really I was wearing my hair up almost all the time, and I'm pretty sure that that's what was causing some of my headaches. It's just from the tension of having my hair pulled back all the time. All right. So I'm just gonna pour this last bit of the cup out, and then I'm gonna turn the spinner on. The cup is pretty much coated. Make sure I'm getting it all the way up to the lip of the cup. Alrighty. So I'm just gonna let that spin. Ponytails feel lighter. Yeah. Hey Leanne, how are you? I appreciate that. That's funny. That is so funny. I don't think my husband cares so much. What did he tell me recently that I didn't know about him? I'm trying to think of what it was. It was something silly, and I'm pretty sure it had to do with food. And like I had noticed, what was it? Man, I can't remember. But I had noticed that recently, whatever it was, whenever we were eating it, I'm pretty sure it was around food. Whenever we were eating that from that place or something like that, I asked, "Oh, do you want such and such?" And he said no. And I asked, I was like, "You just really don't like that, do you?" And he was like, "No." And I was like, "I feel like I've never known that before." You have some very long hair, Frank. Frank. Yeah, I could not grow out my hair that long, even if I want to. Hey, Pippi, how are you? Uh, Sorry. You guys know I typically don't like to have my phone whenever I'm live streaming, but whenever I get a call at a random time of the day, it just makes me worry. Yeah, I don't know how else to describe it other than like back this part of my head, like the crown part of my head, would always feel like tingly. But I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys could tell. I almost always wore my hair up. And even days that I would film or go live with you guys, I would take my hair down just for the fact of being on camera. Prior in that day, it was up. When I got off of camera, it was up. It was just, I didn't like how it really looked down because it was so long and my hair is so fine and thin that once it gets to that length, it just looks kind of scraggly, kind of like straw to me. And I just didn't like the way it looked down. It also just would get all over the place. I think that happens with everybody, anybody who has long hair, male or female. Your hair, it's natural for it to fall out, but I feel like once it's long like that, my hair was getting caught and stuff. It was just starting to be a pain. So I've been wanting to cut it for a little bit, and I had debated about going to a salon. I even debated cutting it myself again because around this time last year, I cut my hair like to my shoulders on my own. I've had the conversation. I'm not weird about my hair. Even if I got a bad haircut, I'd be okay with it because I know it would grow out. You have to run. Well, I hope you have a good rest of your day. This channel will end up just being my commentary channel. My crafts are going to be on my crafting channel, which I will start to put in the descriptions of my videos. The drain of the vacuum. Hubby is not a fan. What would bother my husband is, you know, it gets on your clothes clearly. So even when you wash and dry your clothes, sometimes when you put a shirt on, a piece of hair has gotten woven into your clothing, and then like his back would be itchy and he'd get frustrated if there was like hair, like some of my hair like entangled in his clothes. You don't know what to do with your hair. It's curly. You straightened it with chemicals before, but you stopped because it's not good for you. You got bangs 5 months ago, and now you have devil horns. I am not the one to go to for hair advice or hair styling because I don't like do anything with my hair. I'm sure there's something that you can find that would suit your haircut the way that it is. Hey, Kelly. Yeah, I've cut my hair quite a bit on my own. This is the first time in like 2 years. Yeah, 2 years that I went and got it cut by a hairdresser. You're so ready to cut yours. You're trying to avoid. Yeah, I understand people not wanting to go out and about still. I definitely get that. I appreciate all of the compliments. I didn't set myself up very well to epoxy this other cup. I probably know I can. So I'm probably going to epoxy this cup, and then I'm going to get off of here. I have to run a few errands today, and I may be back on before the live stream tonight. I don't know yet. It kind of depends on how long my errands take, if I will be back on or not. Also, depending if anybody else goes live. If anyone else goes live, I'll probably just do the rest of the little things on my own. So, get some cups, some more gloves. Have a good day, Frank Frank. Luckily, this is a hairstyle. Like this haircut that I got is one that you really, even though it's short, you really don't have to do very much to it. If your hair naturally like curves in or out, I think you'd be fine and not having to do anything to the ends. I am someone who typically takes my shower at night. So that means I sleep with wet hair. So my hair dries weird. I have recently gotten more into the habit of taking a shower in the morning, which is what I did today. And I blow dried my hair and I actually put product in it, which is weird. I put some texturizing stuff in it just to give it a little bit more volume since it is shorter. I usually don't use any product in my hair at all, except for if I am going to straighten it or blow dry it. I usually put a heat protectant in. I don't get any fancy heat. I don't know enough about hair like I do about makeup or skincare, and I still don't know much about that stuff either. I just get whatever I think will work and I try it, and if it works, it works. All right. So that is mixed up. This is also another very thin layer. This is like ASMR for you. Whatever works, right? You need to cut your quilt pieces. Hey, Kazoodles. Make sure you're driving safely. I'm someone who I don't drive as much as I used to, but in my old job, I was in my car a lot, and I would usually listen to YouTube while I was driving. I wouldn't watch it, I would just listen to it. What are you huffing and puffing for? Huh? I think she's trying to make sure I know she's down there. She's huffing and puffing behind me. What kind of quilt she is making? I believe she told us earlier in the chat she was making a quilt for her grandson in June, due in June. Did you say son or just grandbaby? She's making it for a grandkid of hers. I don't know if I could ever quilt. I know how to crochet slightly, and I go in phases with crocheting. I've never really completed any piece. I've started a few different blankets and I've never fully completed them. And then my yarn ends up like way too twisted for me to even continue, and I start over. I work on it for a few weeks. I'll put it away for whatever reason. And then when I try to come back to it, it's gotten all messed up to where I can't work with it. Or I can't remember what kind of pattern I was doing because I'm not skilled enough. So I know quilting takes a lot of time and patience as well, and I don't know if that's something I would be able to pick up and maintain. It's beautiful though. I love quilts. They are so pretty. All right. Try and make sure all the epoxy's out of the cup, just so we're not wasting anything. gently smooth it over, and then I'll put it on the turner behind me. Oh, you haven't started driving yet. You make pictorial quilts for kids using their old school clothes from over the years. Those are really cool. I like almost any quilt. I think quilts are beautiful. But the ones that have like sentimental reasons, like sentimental things behind them, I just like things that have meaning. All right. So this is pretty much all on the cup, just making sure that the lip is covered. And I'm going to take my gloves off. So, oh man, both of these have their screws in them. I'm super excited. I have there's a new method that I have been watching people do, and I got the stuff to do. It's called the Tack-It method, and it makes, I don't know if I can describe it very well. So how this cup is glittery, the Tack-It method, when you put the glitter on, you let it dry with this particular type of glue called Tack-It, and then you wipe the glitter in, and it makes it like if the glitter's holographic, it makes the cup holographic. It is, I've seen a lot of people do it. It is so cool. I have a holographic glitter that I got that's coming in the mail. I have several glitters that I'm still waiting to get. I should get them tomorrow or Wednesday, I believe is when they're due to be here. The problem is I'm going to run out of room on where to put this stuff, because I have several other glitters that are coming in. I have all of this vinyl that I already need to find a place for. I can't get the screw out of this. It's giving me a hard time. It always does. So I think I will free up quite a bit of room if I move the cups up here, and I probably will end up utilizing this shelf down here for some glitters and have to move. This is just random stuff. I have the pins that I started. These really just need to be epoxied, but I need to tape them to something so they spin. Obviously not the pin. The pin will be on a pencil, and then tape the pencil so it spins on the turner, because the epoxy layer that I put on, I left them sitting like this, and it all pulled down at the bottom of the pins. So like the pins down here are like totally smooth, but up here they're still a little bit rough because epoxy goes with the gravity, so it all just kind of fell down. So I do have to actually have these spinning. It was just an effort to see if I had to have them spinning, but you do. So I have to figure that out, because my these are sponges for me. Other people have plastic ones that they've gotten off of Amazon. Oh no. I think I set myself up on this cup. There's no thing in here for it to spin. I'll have to mess with that in a minute. Alrighty, guys. Does anybody have any questions or really anything? Because I am about to scoot for right now. What time is it? It's 12. I have my open discussion at 5. So depending on, I probably won't have time thinking about all the errands I have to run. I probably won't have time to go live again before my live stream. I might see how you guys are feeling. I might go live after the open discussion, depending on how much I get done between now and then. We will see. So, I am going to go ahead and hop off of here. I appreciate you guys being here for this short time. We did a couple of things that needed to be done. Pretty much all that's left now is I just need to seal this cup once it's dry, and that will be ready to go out. These other 2 cups, they just need to spin, and I'll post those as soon as I get a chance. And then I do want to play with the Zodiac stuff and getting some molds in here, because these are going to, I might try the UV stuff. I really have not been a fan of it. My husband tried to use it and it did not dry for him either. I don't know if it's because I'm used to working with resin that there's a learning curve there. I'm not 100% sure, but I might try to do one of these with the UV just to see, since they're small and they're clear. Like, these are clear molds, which I've researched, and it's better if you're using the UV to do clear molds. So I have stuff I want to do and test out, and you guys enjoy being here for these. So I don't know if I'm going to do that this evening or tomorrow, but there will be, like I continue to say, there will be several crafts being done over the next couple of days. So I am going to go ahead and log off of here. I am going to get out of frame because the computer is over there where the live streaming is actually occurring from. If you guys have any questions or anything like that, feel free to reach out to me, whether that's in DM or email. Otherwise, I hope to see you guys at the live discussion, which will be at 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Have a good one, guys.